Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching EXPOZ on December 17, 2012, 1:25 a.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: Aannunaki, Nibiru, and December 21st, 2012. This is part 2. First, I'm going to start off and mention one thing. Do you remember Hal Lindsey, when he wrote The Late Great Planet Earth? I bought that book in 1971. At that time, I was 22 years old. And I remember after I read it, I asked a neighbor who was assistant pastor. I said, do you think these aliens are real? And if so, why won't people talk about them? And his answer was, how do you think the millions of Christians would react knowing that there are other races out there? He said it would test their faith. It would have to be a long, very slow adjustment for Christians to know that there may be others. And you know what? That was dead on right. And that's just the way it happened. It just slowly over time we hear more about it. But anyway, Aannunaki, I'm sorry to have misled you. I said the other day that Aannunaki were not the sons of God. They are. When I told you that, I knew this all along, but I put Aannunaki in the place of the Nephilim. They're not the sons of God. And I said that, and it was totally by accident. Forgive me for that. But as stated in the Bible, there were giants in those days. That's the days of the flood and after the days of the flood. So today, this kidnapping of humans continue. Experiments on the ones taken is continuing. And yes, every powerful country has made deals with these. When I say these, I am speaking of those who live underground, from Aannunaki, reptilians down. Very powerful, or yet every powerful country has made deals with these, swapping certain numbers of humans for technology that we don't have. And I'm going to add something. I'll add this. The Illuminati is mentioned in Enoch. You can take it from there. I thought the same thing. This is why a few owns so much. They know every high-tech thing that's fixing to happen. Protection. And a dollar that is worth, soon, if we do have a cliff, 1/10 of 1 cent. To them, this means nothing. They move well in advance, so as money value falls, they make more. The Aannunaki are but a few of the names of many. Truth is, we do not know how many races there are. How many that the Aannunaki has created, because it started out just the Aannunaki. Aannunaki, Nephilim, the Watchers, the Greys, the Reptillians. There's a lot more. There's a lot more. Some much taller, some shorter. Many look like us. You just sometimes wouldn't know if you were sitting beside one eating. So please understand this. The Nephilim had no offspring. The Nephilim had no offspring. However, what they did have was the mixed DNA with animals, birds, fish, plant life, trees, and most of all, probably a DNA mix that is far more beast than upwalking beings after their own. And you'll understand that later. Aannunaki were the supreme rulers of this world. This is why so many of the Sumerians built all these idols to the Aannunaki and to the creations of the Aannunaki. The man with the horse's head, the unicorn, a horse with a man's head. You know, it's just all kinds of things that they did. They made them. They spliced DNA and they created these things. And after thousands of years, we have no idea what evil lies just under our feet. Aannunaki again were the supreme rulers of the world. They look like you and me at 5,000 years of trial and error. There's a chain of command, and of those under them, probably number in the tens of millions, at least, probably more. They live underground here on Earth. They live underground on the moon, on Mars, on Venus, but not on Nibiru. Explain that. They are not on Nibiru. Nibiru, if anything, is the planet where a part of it will break off and hit the United States or hit the world and turn all water into wormwood, which is poison water. You can't drink it. And so, let me see what time I have here. When the original 200 Aannunaki left their first estate and came to Earth and took the daughters of men, are all locked up and will never return again. That 200, and there's probably many that came with them, but the 200 were in charge of those that came with him and were with them. So I suspect the original 200 are the ones that are still locked up, and that even through the tribulation you will not see them. They're there. They just really took it to a whole new level by God, and God put them there and said, you know what, I will pull you out only a short time for judgment and you'll go right back in. So they'll never come out for any reason. Those who followed, some of which are with them, the others are here today and far more active in mixing DNA and new creations than we can imagine, and we will one day see this. They will come at the 3.5-year mark of the tribulation. Millions upon millions will come. Those who have been left behind, and I'm talking about humans now, will be hunted down by these evil beings, these evil off-brand and created beings between the DNA of the fallen and the DNA of whatever they decided to mix with. They will all pour out of the ground at that time. That's why the Bible says there's never been a time this bad, and there will never be a time this bad again in the latter days in the tribulation. So I'll go ahead and stop it here, and I'll pick up on the last one. That should be short. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.